There it is. I'm just gonna hide this thing because I don't want you guys to see, you know, the moves. Because in some positions, I'm gonna have some questions to the classroom. All right. So let's start the game. So I played Yannick Pelletier, Swiss Grandmaster, who is currently living in Luxembourg, and there was only one game. I had the white pieces against him. This was the very first time I played him, but he's a very nice guy. For so many years, he was organizing a tournament in Biel in Switzerland, and also like he's a very good coach, a very nice guy, super intelligent, and I mean, yeah, also a very good player. But he's not really a professional anymore. He's just like me. We only play leagues and some tournaments, some team events. So I didn't really have very serious preparation because I wasn't sure who am I going to play against. And in these cases, I just prefer to have a rest and save my energy. So I went for my regular stuff, which is this G3 line, which a lot of people, even Avruk, described as a dubious move in his I believe in his Slav course so many years ago, because usually white or black can just go for this bishop f5 structure or bishop g4 structure, and this would just transpose to a Reti system where white already played d4, also bishop f5, kind of a Reti system. By the way, I'm not so sure what is the name of this line, but that's it. I close the queue because I'm doing a game review. All right. After the game review, if I will still have time, I will play Little Man. All right. Let me just do the game review real quick. Not real quick. Actually, I want to show this. I want to show this game. So yeah, I played G3 and I really like this line. It has a lot of points. For example, let's say if I play C4 and black plays E6, I'm a Catalan player, so I'm not going to play knight C3. I don't really like these lines. Black has so many decent options here. For example, bishop B4, which is the Ragozin. C6 is going for some Meran structures. DC4 is the Vienna Gambit. C5 is Tarash. Bishop E7 is Queen's Gambit. So here, I don't really like any of these lines. So I'm a Catalan player. I would play G3, but here I'm just giving black too much space, too much room for choosing the setup. Inside d takes c4, bishop g2, black has like multiple options, at least like 5 or 6, maybe even more. Black has bishop d6 setup, bishop b4 setup, bishop e7 setup, knight bd7, c6, so many other moves. But if I start with g3, my logic is, if black goes e6 and bishop g2, he doesn't have this dc4 option. So he either goes c5 or bishop e7, but if we go bishop e7, if I played c4, now d takes c4 is not a good move, because black already played bishop e7. So basically I'm reducing the amount of possibilities for black. So this g3 is actually quite tricky move if black is playing some Queen's Gambit structures. So that's why I really like this g3. Also, if black is a Slav player, he can't really play d takes c4 lines because I haven't played c4 right away, and not even mentioning, you know, the Queen's Gambit accepted with d takes c4. So I'm just delaying c4. That's it. That's the main goal here. And he went for this bishop f5. I was expecting him to play King's Indian it can't happening right now because he already played d5. He can transpose to the Grunfeld with g6 and bishop g2, bishop g7, castle. This is called the symmetrical Grunfeld, where after c4, d takes c4 or c6, he can get some Grunfeld stuff. So, but I was expecting him to play e6, but he went for this bishop f5. I went bishop g2, e6, c4, c6, knight c3. And basically, we can say this is the main position of this 3g3 line. And here I believe black can go 3 different main lines here, do the 3 different main ways. One is knight b7, one is bishop e7, and one is h6. Bishop e7 and h6 are usually transposing to each other, because once black plays bishop e7, he will play at some point he will play h6. The point of h6 move, this is out of these 3 options, probably h6 seems the least logical at first, because the other 2 is just developing moves, logical developing moves. But of course h6 gives some extra room for the bishop in case it's getting targeted, so then the bishop has extra room back on h7, and black obviously is trying to keep his bishop on this diagonal because it's very useful simply. Out of these 3 options, I truly believe that knight b7 is the least good, because in some cases, whenever we are going for this trade, the knight has an extra option on a6 many times, which is actually quite useful. But he went for knight b7, which I believe it's not that precise. I went queen b3, queen b6, and c5. And usually at this point, black has 3 options. One is queen takes b3, one is queen a6, and one is queen c7. Queen c7, I think it's not that great now, because now we have knight h4, and now we can see why h6 would have been very useful, because then the bishop can get back to h7, and once we are trading off this bishop, I think we are getting too much space in the center, and this leads to a better position for white. So I don't think queen c7 is very good. Queen b3 is an okay continuation. Usually black is trying to stop b4, b5 ideas. So he quickly goes a6, b4, and now it's very important. He has to move the rook away, because let's see, if in case he goes bishop e7, we have b5. We have access to b5, and cb3, knight b3, he can't take because the rook is hanging, right? So he has to move the rook away now, and this leads to an approximately equal position, where white is trying to get his knight here, targeting b7, where usually black is trying to prevent it with bishop e7, bishop d5, bishop takes a5, and there is going to be some maneuvering fight between the 2 sides. But he chose to go queen a6. Anyone in the classroom has any idea why queen a6 is a bad move? I give you guys some time. Doesn't do anything. Trapped. Not many escape squares, but there is actually a concrete reason. It's not like a long-term thing, because this has a very good point. In general, in some other lines, I don't want to give you too much hint, but in some other lines, this move is actually a very good move, because black is trying to pick up your center. I mean, when I'm saying center, I'm talking about the big center. These squares, all these squares. These squares. This is the big center. You know, this is the small center. This, but the big center. These guys are quite strong. So he wants to pick up our center, and after we taking here, he's keeping his pawn structure in one island. But we actually, by eliminating this pawn, we are actually creating. He created for us an extra pawn island, which is the least pawn island you have, the better your position is in usually, like usually in if we are considering the principles. But there is actually like a concrete reason why this move is not good. He wants to play in next move. He wants to play b6, and from that point he can bring the queen back anytime. So, and all of a sudden his queen is not that stuck anymore. So what is the reason? The reason there is Okay, I give you some hint. Horse A4. It's not really doing anything. You are not hitting B6 square with amount of like sources, right? Resources, because he is protecting this square with 3 pieces. So it's not really doing much. There is a very good reason why I did all this stuff, this Queen B3 C5, before I went castle, because they usually say, before you make a queen move, put your king safe first. This is like a basic rule. Chess Principles 101. There is a very good reason why I haven't played castle yet. This might give you enough hint to find the answer. All right. The answer is Bishop F1. The answer is Bishop F1. Such a weird move, such a weird retreat, right? And all of a sudden, look at that. We are threatening to make a very a nasty double attack. But if he would have done it, let's say after castle short, he doesn't have this. We can't attack the queen. The next move is gonna go b6. We will take. Let's say we go here. He goes here, and all of a sudden he has such a strong pawn structure, and we just created one extra pawn line. So yeah, this is why I usually do it. By the way, in my online games, if you remember, you could see this. Yeah, it's very easy to miss actually, but I was not expecting that someone is missing this in a Grandmaster level. So if you guys could watch my online games, you could see this motif many times. So many people went for it. This is one of my favorite opening tricks. So yeah, he went Queen A6 and now Bishop F1, and all of a sudden I'm trying to target this guy. And now he made a move which is actually engine first, the only move which doesn't make the position plus minus right away. So he was able to find the best move here, which is Bishop E4. Such a weird move, right? Because you are, what I always say, respect the bishop pair, but of course there are some cases which override it, because in the time of need you have to sacrifice something. You would rather sacrifice your bishop pair than playing b5, because let's say if you bring the bishop home, I just go e4, or even e3 actually. I am not necessarily wants to play e4, but okay, I can play e4. And if he goes, let's say if he goes queen a7, many times I can take on b7. And if he goes b5, sometimes I'm just picking up his thing with a4, not right away because it's not threatening due to the rook is undefended, but a little bit later. It's not running anywhere because the queen is pinned. So that's why he went bishop e4, because by this move he is actually preventing me to play e4. So he went bishop e4, and I remembered, because it's funny, because not recently, but I remembered that this move was not in my file, because this is not the most logical move. Knight e4 I think is the most logical move, or maybe b5, but bishop e4 was not in my file, and I couldn't remember what's the move here, but actually I managed to find the best move. So e3 would be inaccurate now, because queen a5, and this might leave this guy undefended, but unfortunately he has this very serious tempo. Now our queen is hanging and our knight is hanging, and we can't protect both. We can take here. Okay, we have 2 pawns in exchange in exchange for the lost piece, but it's not going to be enough. Of course, it's not worth it. So we're not going for this. If let's say we protect our guy, he just goes back and nothing really happened. Now he could actually put his queen back safe. So this is definitely not worth it. So I went for the best possible way, best possible option. I took on e4, knight takes c4, and knight d2. Again, if I play e3, he gets this very important tempo, this check. And if I play knight d2, he might takes and he goes back. Okay, I have the bishop pair. I have some space advantage, but this is like a very regular Slav structure where he's gonna push e5, bishop e7, potentially knight f8, knight e6. He's gonna take here, bishop f6. I'm just talking about like I'm just making some random move, all right? Black wants something like this and targeting d4. That's his plan. I still have, you know, the space advantage, but all of a sudden he has something to target. So this I didn't really want. So that's why I went knight d2. I think this was a very nice move because I'm not only targeting e4, but I'm preventing this queen a5. And of course, if he goes queen a5 now I can take because this is not a check. Rook b8, and I just take his guy. And all of a sudden, wait a second. No, sorry. Wait a minute. I forgot to mention something. Here he went b6. By the way, queen a5. Nugget. I mean, practice and years. It's like I played so many similar games. I mean, queen a5 is a move which was actually like engine first, and I was afraid of this one because I just realized I was calculating here a lot of things, and at first I thought I can take here, rook b8, and now of course I very quickly I realized that I can't take here because rook takes b2, and I'm doomed. If I take here, this is mate in 1. And there is no way I can protect this guy. He's gonna take with rook or with the knight, doesn't really matter. And I'm not on time, unfortunately. Okay, I can go for something like this, but I'm pieced down, and I just have only one check, and yeah, it doesn't really do much. One queen can't really do enough damage around his king, so it's not gonna be enough. But I saw a very interesting resource which was b4. If he takes with queen, I take rook b4, bam e3, and yeah, it's probably I'm slightly better, but it's not doing anything, right? It's he has a weak pawn, but of course he can jump here with the knight. He can play f5. I mean, I have the bishop pair, so I think I'm slightly better here. But after some time, I realized he might has this move, queen a4. And in case of queen c7, now he takes here because he didn't want to exchange queens. But okay, I thought, okay, I have rook b1. In case he takes, king d1, knight f2, king c2, take everything, knight h1, queen c6, and I mean e4 is coming, bishop b5 is coming. I mean, he has rook, knight, and knight against my queen, but look at it. I mean, these pieces are locked in. This is pinned. My bishop is getting to b5. I'm targeting d7. This must be winning. I was like, okay, that's actually a nice calculation. Hold on a second. Do you guys see what is the problem with this idea? I give you some time here. It's actually losing. How? Guessed. Give me a concrete answer, man. You can do it. I'm pretty sure you see it. Show me the stuff. I just changed the title. I don't want to bait anyone. You mean this? I just take his rook. Takes, and I'm piece up. This is okay. This is mate in 3. Mate in 3 for black. From this point, it's mate in 3. Come on, bro. I know you see it. I know you see it. Actually, I changed the music. I on edge of seat. I'm gonna put some other music, some chill music, all right? Yo, Anna! Thank you so much for the raid. What's up? What's up? How was the stream? Currently, I'm doing Grandmaster Game review of my weekend's game against Yannick Pelletier from Luxembourg League, and yeah, I'm waiting for the answer. Why Rook B1 was a bad move? I didn't make this move. This was not the game. It was some possible way I could have continued the game. But of course, I didn't go for it because I saw the end. Could we push a... So in the game right now, Father Littleman, when I'm showing you a game, you are starting a game? No way. No way. Now get Littleman, it's Black's turn. It was before Rapid. Oh, alright. Okay, guys, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the answer, right? It's queen takes d2. Who needs a queen to mate? Yes, it's queen takes d2. It's such a nice resource, right? Because bishop d2 just rook b1 and it's mate. So I just realized that I can't really take on b7 because he has this thing. And in case of b4, he's not taking on b4. He's gonna go queen a4, queen c7. Now he takes, and rook b1 he takes here. So I quickly realized I cannot really go for it. But he didn't go queen a5. By the way, if he goes queen a5, because I mean, at first he was thinking a lot during the game, and I was like, at first I was walking around, and I was like, okay, I got bored, and I sit down to the table, and I was calculating with him, and I was like, okay, what I'm going to do after queen a5, and I quickly realized that I have to develop my guy. Knight takes d2, bishop takes d2 because it was hanging, queen c7, and I think I should be slightly better in this position. I have the bishop pair, which might. Not a big deal. Might be not a big deal, but it's actually nice to have because it's in a long diagonal. You know, what am I doing with the arrows, man? So it's in the long diagonal. It has a potential to you know, the position to getting a little bit open, creating some open files after e4 e takes d5 or b4 b takes c5. So this bishop pair can be very strong later, and also the knight doesn't really have outputs so far. Also, this bishop is passive, and also I mean I'm having like a huge. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid again. Have a good day. So I'm having like a space advantage. I think it's pretty nice, right? So yeah, he went for b6. So he didn't go for queen a5. I think this was the objective best. He played b6, which is why in the first place, this is why the black queen goes to a6. He is trying to pick up my pawn structure, but yeah, in return, I could just ruin his pawn structure. So it was not the best case scenario how he could play b6. And now I think I had a very important move. It doesn't really. It's actually quite important how I'm doing the order, because at some point I'm gonna go e3, but when? Before I take b6 or after I take b6? It's actually not the same. So I chose to play first e3, and this was the right move, because if I take first on b6, all of a sudden I give some extra room for the queen for getting like centralized, and by that he's protecting his weak pawn on e4 and the other one on c6. So if the queen gets here, I don't want to see that. It's super annoying. So that's why I went immediately e3. And from now, actually, the queen can only go backwards. If he goes queen a5, I'm just trapping his queen. Yes, the queen is trapped. He can't really go anywhere. He can't escape. So he had to go backwards. The question was, where should he put the queen? To b7 or c8? It's because if he puts the queen on b7, he can't really take right away on c5. So in this case, I don't have to take right away because his queen is trapped. If he goes to c8, it's a little bit more passive. After he, let's say, potentially if he castles, his rooks will not be connected to each other. And also, like putting a queen in the back rank, it's not like potential. Potentially, it's not very good. So, but yeah, he chose queen c8 because he wanted to take my guy, of course, and he wanted to force me to take on b6. And now I think in this position he had 3 options, and again he chose probably one of the worst option, which was knight takes b6. I'm not so sure which one was better, which one was giving better practical chances, rook b8 or a takes b6. Rook b8 was interesting. And he is trying to take on b6 with the rook, and maybe exchanging his bishop on b4. Always use cheapest guy. What does it mean? In this case, okay. I'm just putting out my queen from the pin. If he takes here, I'm stopping bishop b4 check. Okay, he can play bishop b4, but after we were trading off these bishops, he is giving up on very important dark squares. So he can't really do that. But okay, at some point e4 is going to be hanging, not right away. So I don't want to take right away. For example now, because he gives a check and he stops me from castling. And if I put my king here, I don't think it's worthy. So I like to see my king safe first, because he's getting rook d8, c5, and all of a sudden, what is it with the arrows today? So all of a sudden my king is under attack, and of course one pawn is not worth that much. So first I like to play bishop d2, and later, after I put my king first, I'm not so sure which way I'm putting my bishop, maybe here or a g2. But this guy will definitely hang, and now he has like a lot of pawn lines. I only have 2, but he has at least 3. 1, 2, and 3. So and these guys can be targeted as well later. My pawn structure is just very, very solid, so I'm pretty sure I'm much better. But maybe this was giving better practical chances. If he goes a takes b6. Also, now I don't want to play queen c2 because of bishop b4 check. I just probably play bishop g2, knight f6, castle short, bishop somewhere, queen c2, and I'm going to take e4. It's just a free pawn. He has some counterplay, but not much. So it's just clear advantage. So he took with knight, and now I think I made a very good move, which was not focusing on king safety first. I tried to make undermine his development a little bit and just simply making him lose time to protect his guys. And I played bishop d2 because I will make this move whatever he does. So eventually I will make bishop d2, but I'm not so sure where my bishop belongs. So until I haven't decided where my bishop belongs, here or this diagonal, in case, let's say, the queen gets here, and maybe he's trying to okay, I'm just gonna change the music for a second. So in case he is getting his queen here, my bishop might get here, and of course rook c8 would be very logical, protect his guy. But then bishop a6 is going to be a huge tempo. So until and it's very, I think in general, I think it's a very nice rule. Until you don't know where your piece belongs, you are about to develop, make those moves first, which you would definitely make. So eventually you would always make that move, no matter what. No, that doesn't matter of which scenario your opponent will go for. You will make this bishop belongs here, that's for sure. Rook belongs here, that's for sure. But depends where he puts the queen. Then I can also choose the square for my bishop. So that's why I played bishop d2, and now I'm trying to get here. And getting here, I'm not only like targeting this like c6 in a like long term, but right away. So let's imagine. And for some reason he didn't realize this plan. So yeah, it seems so. Yeah, exactly. During the game, it's not that simple. Trust me, because then you have to figure it out yourself. But once you figure it out, it seems very simple. Once you are aware of the principles. So I mean, after rook c1, I'm not only like targeting this guy in the long term, but right away. So imagine if this guy is taking here, queen takes here, and bishop b5, and winning the queen. So this resource, this trick, he didn't realize, and he played f5, which was losing so much time. I think he should have played bishop e7, rook c1, and quickly, very quickly, put his king safe first. I go queen c2. It's a double attack. Probably he can't avoid losing material, but at least his king safe. His king is at safe. But the game was so much worse than that, because he lost material, but his king was also under attack. So by this f5 move. And after f5, rook c1, and I'm threatening to take here. So let's say if he goes bishop d6, I can take c6. Bam. Queen c6, bishop b5, winning the queen. So this was a huge thing. And if he moves the queen away, it doesn't really help. I still take here, and this is also hanging. So he just lost a lot of time here. He has to go king f7. Now, of course, bishop takes c6, rook takes c6, queen c6, bishop b5 is not doing much. He just moved the queen away, and his king is not pinned. But I have bishop b5, which was like also a very nice move. Now I'm hitting c6, creating a lot of pressure on c6, and here he can't do anything else than c5. That was the only move, because if he takes, this is just a lost time game. I just go here, trading one rooks off, and I'm pushing my guys all the way to the 8th rank. So and now he left without counterplay easily. So he had to create something. If he moves the queen away, I still take here. Whoops, I take here, go castle short, bring the rook to c1, and his king is weak. His e6 square is weak, and I have the bishop pair is just a lost position in the grandmaster level. So he had to create something. I think around here, I've seen people resign in like better position than this. So if he would resign here, that would be completely understandable. But no one wants to lose like in 17 moves. It's embarrassing. Also, we are playing in a team competition, so you have to fight. You have to like keep the chance alive as much as you can, as long as you can. Of course, I was not expecting him to resign, but his position is at a resign angle in a Grandmaster level. But of course, he didn't resign. Of course, I wouldn't have resigned if I was him. So yeah, he played c5, but now this is pinned. I could take here, and after bishop takes c5, I didn't see a forced win here, because if I try to create more pressure, he just takes here. That would be wrong, because my rook is undefended. He takes with check. That's the problem. I can't take his queen. If I attack his guy, he just brings it away, and now all of a sudden his queen is defended. And if I go castle short, he would go queen f8. He can create his guy. In the same time, he moved his queen away from the pin. So in these cases, you don't have to rush. This pin will remain there. So I just went for my last developing move. I just put my king safe. I connected my rooks, and I'm gonna bring my last remaining piece to the game, and by that I can finish the game off. I mean, if I've seen other than what he played in the game, I've seen only one move which probably kept some chances alive. It was rook b8, creating some practical counterplay against my queen, but it wasn't really working. I just take here. I mean, if he takes bishop c5, now he's losing material. Now he is not able to protect a c5 bishop, so he can't really do that. He has to move the knight, but here I calculated a very nice line with queen a4. If he goes queen b7, I have this very nice bishop c6. If he takes here, take d5. If he takes here, I have queen d7. And I'm going to take one of these guys with a check, or if the king moves away, I'm just taking this guy. I'm protecting d2. I'm pawn up, and he has just a lost position. If he plays bishop e7, I can also take this guy with a check. It's just lost. Bishop comes here, and his king is just too exposed. He can't really do that. If he takes here, then the same thing just happens. Queen d7, bishop e7, queen e6, and it's going to be made very, very soon. So he couldn't really do that. I mean, the only move was c4. He had to give up on material, but in order to keep his chances alive or not losing right away, so he pushed c4. I took knight c4, rook c4. He went queen d8. And now, this was basically. It's funny to say, but this was basically the most difficult decision I had to make in this game. Probably not the most difficult decision, but the most challenging one, because what do you do? What do you do in this type? Yo man, what's up, buddy? What do you do in these type of situations? Once you are a material up, what does the principle say? The principle says that once you are material up, you have to exchange pieces, especially heavy pieces, right? The queens, because you just eliminate the possible counterplay. But some things are rook b4 wouldn't be great because he takes it with bishop. That would be inaccurate. So, but his king is exposed. And if I just move the queen away, I don't know. His position is just terrible. So we are material up, and also we are. I mean, his king is so much more exposed than ours, and yeah, we just have like completely winning position. But it's just only one pawn, you know, and we've seen like screwing up better position than that. I managed to screw up like more winning position than this one this year, so I was lack of little bit confidence that nowadays. So I just, bam, I took it. I went for it. I didn't really care. Of course, it's not engine first. Queen a4 or queen c2 is probably better, but I don't know. He just goes bishop d6, rook fc1, rook d8, he moves the king back, and I don't know. It's just only one pawn. I'm not saying it's I would screw this up, because I mean I would give like 90-something% that I would win this position, but still, it's just only one pawn. But if I take this guy, it's going to be 2 pawns. It's going to be 2. So rook b8, I gave a check on c7, and actually what he played here, it was kind of unexpected. I was expecting bishop e7, he played king f6, and now I just realized what he really wants. I thought king f6 is not working because of bishop c3. I'm not only protecting b2, but I'm about to open up this diagonal, and I can make his king even more exposed, and not only mentioning a7 is hanging. So once I'm taking this guy, I'm going to win this position with 2 pawns up, with 2 connected passers. The position is just winning itself. It's without question. But not, he might has bishop b4. So in this type of positions, all you gotta do is eliminate all the practical chances your opponent has. So you might win another pawn, but in what cost? So he just plays bishop b4. If you take, he goes rook c8. The position still might be winning, but I've seen similar positions getting ruined by grandmasters. And you know, with double rooks, it's always a possibility that in your second rank, your opponent will get some counterplay. For example, if you protect, let's say he goes rook b2, and he always has this annoying plan, you know, getting counterplay on the second rank, rook f1, rook a2, and all of a sudden your rook is so passive, and you can't with one rook you will not win these positions. It's never easy. So I didn't want to give him like open files and second rank counterplay. This is not what you want. So what do you do in these cases? You just eliminate all the practical chances he might get. So I played b3. I'm not allowing this. If he goes bishop b4 now, I think this is so much different, because he will not get I mean, he needs so much time to like regroup his pieces. It's not going to happen. If he plays, let's say a6, I just bring my other rook here. I might not win this guy right away, but I'm getting there is only one open file on the board. I'm the one. I'm in charge. I'm the one who is controlling it. And after getting the 6th rank, not only the 7th rank, but the 6th rank as well, I mean, all of a sudden I'm creating huge threats, not even mentioning bishop c3, d5 ideas. It's just winning easily. So he had to get some counterplay. He played bishop a3. This was a very good move, not allowing my rook getting on c1. Now I could take a7, but again, I didn't want to give him counterplay. Now my rook can't really get here, and I don't want to allow this. Whoops. Arrows. I have problem with arrows today for some reason. Sorry about that. So the rook is getting to c2 potentially, and by hitting a2, and you know, I'm a little bit passive. This bishop is way too annoying right now. And if I play bishop, if I'm trying to get this out, he takes, and all of a sudden I'm only one pawn up now. And it's, you know, black has some very good drawing chances here. So it just, in these type of positions, you are just one step away of screwing up your winning your best winning chances. Maybe like 4 or 5 different moves are winning, but it doesn't matter how easy that win is, because maybe the line you go for is still winning, but it requires like 5 or 6 precise moves in a row to just keep your winning chances alive. But so in these type of positions, you have to be very, very careful. Don't rush anything, even if your opponent is low on time. Don't play on his time. Just try to find the objective best. And here I invested some time in the position. He was like under 2 minutes or something. He had to make like 10 moves until the time control, and I invested some time, and I just came up with a very nice idea, which was d5. Now I'm threatening bishop c3 check, and if I give this, if I make this check, I mean, I'm gonna do a massacre on this 7th rank, man. Like, I'm gonna take this guy, this guy, this guy, everyone, man. Maybe I'm sacrificing one guy, but I'm getting 3 in exchange. So he can't allow me to play bishop c3. This can't happen. If I play d5, it's going to be it's over. So he played bishop b2. No, he played rook. What did he do? He played rook c8. Yes, he played rook c8. If I give this check, now he has e5. And if the rook is not on c8, I have this check and I can take e5. But now I don't have this. So bishop c3 would be an accuracy. If he goes e5, I think I just give a check. He goes here, and maybe I play bishop c3. I think this is just easy. I'm threatening to take here. Also, this is hanging. I can win this guy. It's just winning. So he went rook c8. I took a7. And actually, what he played here, it was quite tricky. He went rook c2. I protected my guy. I could take here, but again, I don't wanna allow this. I don't wanna allow this to get him to 2nd rank rooks. Maybe I can play rook c1. Yeah, maybe this is also winning. But now maybe he goes here and rook b2, rook d2. You never know. I don't want to give him these chances. And in these type of positions, you start hallucinating because you are afraid of the opponent's resources like way too much. So I just wanted to eliminate his winning chances to 0. That's why I played rook d1. He went rook d8. That was a tricky move. If I take on a3, he takes d5, and all of a sudden I can't protect my guy. So he will take my bishop, and when he does, it's going to be only 1 pawn. Okay, I have 2 passers, but you know, it's not so easy to mobilize. So I went bishop a5 was a very nice move, and it seemed like he just lost because rook d5, e d5, bishop d8 check, and it's a check, and the next move I'm going to take his rook. But of course he didn't blunder that. He played rook d6. But it was such a miracle that he was still alive at this point. I went bishop c7. Now I'm attacking the rook. If he goes here, I'm pretty sure I have multiple wins here, but I think the easiest is giving a check here, king e7, and I'm not so sure. I can either go for this, and he's going to take here, but I have 2 pawns. It seems easy win, or I might give a check, king e8. I'm pretty sure. No, actually this. Yeah, what am I talking about? Bishop e5, king e7. I just take the bishop. I'm sorry. I'm just taking the bishop. I don't have to exchange rooks. I'm just taking the bishop because I saved my bishop. Yeah. So he can play rook d7. The only move which keeps him still alive is bishop c5. He has to save his bishop in the same time he's attacking my rook. But now I just took on d6, bishop a7. I took his guy, king e6 and a4. Now this is different. What I showed you before, because he might has a 2nd rank rook, but his bishop is not blocking my pawn on a2, so I can push my guys, and my bishop is perfectly placed. He went for his only counterplay, g5. G5 was a very good move. In some cases, if the bishop moves somewhere, he might has f4, and all of a sudden he is creating threats here, and you know, it's getting cheeky. So I don't want to do that. And if I don't take f4, this is going to be weak. And even after f3, I have some back rank problems. But of course, he wants to take on e3. So this is actually tricky. So I don't want to move my bishop from here. This shouldn't happen. h4 not really doing much because it just goes h6. And I can take these guys off, but it doesn't really change anything in terms of f4 counterplay. Also after f4, his king can get here, and maybe he has some potential perpetual checks. So I push my guy f4 until the bishop remains on d6. f4 is not a thing. So I'm well covering this square. And now he went h5, which I believe was definitely a inaccuracy. I think he should have kept his pawn here somewhere. But he was so low on time, so he had to act fast. He played h5. I went b4, and now he went rook b2, which was just losing right away because I got h4. And now I'm just eliminating his g5 pawn, and from that point he's not gonna have f4, so he pushed g4. But from this point he never has f4, right? So his only counterplay, I just took his only counterplay away. So instead of rook b2, I think he had only one last tiny little chance to survive. Here was rook c6. I saw this, but I also saw my resource. Maybe bishop f8 is still winning, but now he has f4. Okay, f4 is not that powerful as with the rook on c2, but still, I can go for this. But he has a lot of counterplay on this. Maybe he 3 pawns down. But once he gets this pawn, he will have a passer as well, and his king is way more active. So I don't want to give him counterplay. So I saw bishop c5. I think bishop c5 is just easily winning. Bishop takes c5, and now I think rook c1 would be a very nice move. But also I think I don't think it's winning, because maybe it's winning, but now you shouldn't take here because he will be right on time, and you can't get his pawn. So the opponent game is a draw. But I think rook a1 is winning. Rook c7, a6, rook a7, rook a5. This is easily winning, because his king can't really leave his pawns, and I'm just coming. These type of Rookan games where you can support your pawn from behind, and you could push it all the way to a6, or a5 is not that good, but to a6 it's usually easy win, because it's just too far away. If you get closer, and if you a king tries to get your pawn, you either go for a winning pawn endgame, or you just take all his pawns down. So it's just easy win. But okay, this is also winning. But what I can do is b takes c5. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You just go rook a5, and it's the same thing. You just bring the king. You can also go rook a6, but now I think rook a1, I don't think it would be so great, because he goes king d5, and all of a sudden you don't have this resource, so you can't really make a massacre on the 5th rank. But I think rook d6 is just winning on the spot. The pawn endgame is winning, because we are one tempo ahead, and we are winning his pawns, all of them. So yeah, rook c6 was winning, and maybe I don't go for bishop c5. I go bishop f8, and he keeps his chances alive. But I don't think it. I mean, his chances was just were so high. So he played rook b2, and after h4, basically the game was over. He pushed g4, and now again I invested some time, and I calculated. In order to make progress, I sacrificed some material. So I played bishop f4. Rook takes b4, and I could improve my rook. King e7, rook h6, and now I'm going to take this guy. Also, after I'm taking this guy, this is hanging. Not only mentioning bishop d6 is a double attack, and also rook h7 is threatening to take the bishop. So he had to remove his rook from the threats. King g2, this is still threatening. So how did he play? I think he played bishop b8. And now again, this this situation all over again, just like you guys remember when I exchanged the bishop. I was like, I'm not saying I hallucinated some fortresses, but I wanted to finish this game off as soon as possible. If I take this guy, I'm pretty sure the game wouldn't have finished in the next like 20 moves. So I just wanted to finish the game as soon as possible. If I take here, I'm pretty sure he would have like make another 20 moves. So I played bishop g5 check. I think keeping the bishop on the board is just way more powerful because his bishop is not doing anything, but my bishop is going to support this passer. So I think it was way better. He played king d7, rook h5, rook a1, and gave a check. He went king d6, and here he resigned. I'm just going to push a6. I'm going to push h5. I'm going to bring the rook here. I'm going to push the other pawn, and with these two passers, it's just easy peasy lemon squeezy. So here he resigned in a grandmaster level. It's definitely a resign angle. So this was my game from Luxembourg League. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Finally, after so much time, after so long, I could finally. Yeah, it was OTB. Yes, it was OTB. I finally. It was a classical game. I finally beat the Grandmaster. I can't recall the last time I beat the Grandmaster, man. It's crazy, right? No, I mean it was in Sharjah in May. I beat like two Grandmasters there, like 2500 plus. But I mean this year I dropped a lot of rating. I lost my confidence lately. So this game was definitely a confidence boost. So I really hope this game was a turning point for grinding back 2600, where I truly believe, I genuinely believe I still belong. So yeah, I was super happy with this victory, and hopefully I will continue this path in the future.